Welcome back, citizens. This is Matt with Mad Realm Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at what gameplay is available currently in the Persistent universe. We're going to talk about the major mission types that are available, how you can approach them, what systems they're available in, and of course, whether or not they're actually worth it at the end of the day. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I make the next one. It does take a lot of work to put these videos out, and I really do appreciate all the support. You guys have been great so far. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Today we're going to be starting this video out by doing some deliveries. There are a couple different types of deliveries you can do, but the main one is going to be dropping off packages to multiple different locations on the same planetoid. There are a couple where you're just dropping off a single package that's been lost and things like that. And you can also do personal deliveries, which are basically drug smuggling and moving body parts from location to location. In this case, we're going to be focusing on legal stuff mainly for this video. So we're going to hop over to Daymar and do a quick little pickup run there. Now, I really enjoy doing these kind of runs because I find that you're able to explore a lot of the places on the planets that you normally wouldn't go to. Specifically when you do like deliveries in Microtech as well, you get to fly around the city of Microtech itself and, you know, go to New Babbage, drop things off at different skyscrapers there. It's a pretty cool way to explore the verse, and you don't make a lot of money, but when you're flying a new ship or just starting the game, I think it's actually an excellent way to get used to basically using a ship in general, and also learning the layout of the universe. Now, my big tip for you when you're doing these, take all three of the packages that you're picking up and put them inside of the airlock before you leave. That way you're not fussing with the airlock back and forth in between each package run. And you can just hold left click while you're holding the package, and that's going to let you place it exactly where you want to on the ground. This is also really helpful when you get back inside of the ship, because since the Aurora does have such a small storage area, we're going to be stacking all of these boxes on top of each other, and holding left click allows you to do that pretty easily once you set these up in a nice spot in the back of your hold. Just like with the airlock, go ahead and slap all three boxes in as quickly as you can, and then what we're going to do is immediately take off and head to the next zone. Now, all we got to do is pull up your skyline, take a look at where the next pip is for you to drop this box off at, and just basically bang out all three of them. Again, the payout isn't that great, but you know, you do get to check out a lot of parts of the verse, and it's a nice change of pace from combat and other things if you've been doing that pretty much the whole time. If you are doing some of the illegal runs, or you're doing some of the other deliveries where you need to go pick something up in space, make sure that you have a decent weapons loadout and shield loadout, or at least a ship that can at least fight back, because a lot of the time when you go into those kind of missions, you might have to engage in a little bit of dogfighting, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down. Now, the next type of mission that we're actually going to be taking a look at is search. It's very similar to doing a delivery in that you're basically flying to a single location, picking up some stuff, and then flying off again to drop it off somewhere. The key difference is that sometimes when you go to do these search missions, you're going to be in space, or you might be on a planet. Sometimes you're going to encounter some light resistance, so I do recommend bringing some sort of FPS equipment with you, a little bit of armor, and at least, you know, an assault rifle or an SMG so you can fight back. They're pretty straightforward though. You just fly straight up to the site, bump into some stuff on the way down, and then you're just going to run over to the crash, see what's available in there, and if needed, you might have to identify some bodies. It really just depends on whatever the objective is for the search. These also have some decent payout compared to the delivery missions though, so if you're looking for something that's also relatively safe and allows you to basically explore, this is going to be another good option for you. Now, this brings us to our next type of gameplay that we're going to be engaging in, which is the investigation missions. They're kind of similar to some of the deliveries in that a couple of them involve flying out to a location, and instead of recovering a package, you're recovering something like a black box, and then dropping it off somewhere, so it bears that similarity. However, there are a couple of variations that you can do. One of them is that you fly down to a cave system, which is what you're currently seeing. This one is pretty neat because it's definitely a different type of mission as compared to the second type of investigation like this, which is a private investigation, where you're going into a shipping hub to figure out what the cause of some accident that killed this woman's husband happened to be. That one's a little cool. I just didn't want to put it on screen because I feel like with how that one is set up, it would kind of be a little spoilery if it was on screen. This one, however, is really difficult. I have a hard time getting these cave investigations done, mainly because in order to do it, you probably should bring several flares with you, just so that when you hit forks in the road that aren't marked, you know, as you can see, there's several flares that are already on the ground as you come running through. But there are areas that you get to where you're going to hit like a fork in the road, such as right here. And when you hit this fork, you're going to have some sort of a light to let you know that you've already been through this way, or to let you know that that's still the way out. I know the first couple times I did these missions, I got incredibly lost, and it was pretty bad. So just keep that in mind. Always, always, always bring these little torches with you. This also transitions nicely into the next gameplay loop that's actually available, and I think is probably the most polished gameplay loop that we can do, and that's going to be mining. Cave mining and hand mining is pretty much the entry level, and again, you're going to need to make sure that you have the multi-tool with the mining attachment, and I would recommend the rucksack core, just so that as you're going through the cave, you can really load up your inventory, use those flares to get back to your ship, and at least make a really nice payout on top of having a cool little cave exploration mission. Now, mining is a very particular process. What you're going to do is you're going to first pull up your sights in order to see that this is in fact a mineable rock. The easiest way to tell that it is there will be a yellow like fungus growing on the outside of it, and then you'll notice like green, purple, blue, always like a weird streak of color as crystals going through the rock. You're going to pull up your mining tool. This works the same for any other mining equipment. Power up the energy level that it's putting forth into the rock, and then just start shooting it. You're going to notice on the left-hand side that there's going to be an energy gauge that pops up with a little green window. As long as you keep your energy level in that green window by adjusting the amount of power that your weapon is putting out, or in this case a mining bit, you're going to blow it up as soon as that green bar fills up. Be careful, if you go all the way to red, it's going to detonate and kill you. So back off if it hits the red like you see me do here, and then let it cool for a second, hop back into it, you'll be able to crack the rock open and pick it up. Now the next type of mining that we're going to look at is going to be using a rock, and you're going to need a ship like a Cutlass Black, something that's got a big enough of a cargo hold that it can actually fit a rock inside of it. Go ahead and load up your ship with the rock, and you're going to start flying around basically whatever location you think is going to have your preferred minables. You're really going to be looking for Haydenite a lot, so we're going to fly around. In my case, I chose Daymar. The minables that you're going to be looking for don't pick up at a very large range, so if it starts to show that there's still something it's picking up at like less than 2,000 meters away and it's not showing you the normal mineable signal, which is the like rock, you'll be seeing the diamonds as soon as you get close to a couple hundred meters. That's how you know it's definitely for your rock and it's a hand mineable. Same with using the hand mining tool as well. You're going to go ahead and use the laser to control the amount of power that you're putting into the rock. In this case, it's actually a lot more accurate. And the rock does have a little bit of a weird pickup vacuum, so you're going to want to aim at like individual fragments and then it will vacuum up groups. As for the Prospector, I really don't suggest using a Prospector right now, unless you're going to be doing asteroid belt mining, just because the Prospector has this weird issue of the cargo hold being assumed to be full of the heaviest material in the current flight model. It makes it really difficult to use VTOL effectively and still mine. I know some people are having success with it, but what you'll want to do is mine the asteroid belts around Yela. If you can get to the Aaron's belt, go ahead and take care of that mining too. Lagrange points aren't too bad, but you are going to have to jump. I do recommend actually using the Argo Mole if you can for solo mining. It's what I'm currently preferring for solo mining. I greatly enjoy the size of the ship. I like going around asteroid belts and being able to just fill up my cargo hold with a huge amount of loot. And you know, it is good for getting Quantanium mining. The only problem I have is that with a huge cargo hold, if you bust open some Quantanium rocks, you'll want to basically immediately turn around and go sell them, because the Argo can be so slow at mining that by the time you find another couple of things, get your ship positioned, hop down to the laser and start firing it, once you vacuum that up and you go back up top, you're going to notice that your jettison cargo button is already flashing. So, you know, use it with caution, but if you're going to be picking up stuff like Laranite, Diamond, this is a good choice. That brings us to ship combat. I already actually have done a pretty decent length video about bounty hunting in 3.10, so I would recommend, if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and click that link right there. That will take you into my more in-depth analysis on it. But what I do have to say about PvE content is it's pretty good right now. Like right here, this is some interdiction content from me actually flying over to get other combat content, which is pretty cool. The other missions that I didn't really cover in the bounty hunting, though, do include some of the sentry missions, doing PvP bounties. In order to get those PvP bounties, you do have to do the North Rock pro-term contract, which is out of Delamar. Usually you're going to end up getting like a private conversation with the guy who runs the bar there, in which case that turns on the PvP missions for you, and then you can actually start shooting down other players. You will also want to make sure that you have a decent combat ship for this, especially if you're doing PvP, because some of the people that are engaging in criminal missions are very good at combat, so just be aware of that. The next thing I want to cover is FPS missions. FPS missions are a great time right now. My favorite's actually the 890 jump. It's cool because you get to take out a couple of Cutlass Blacks first, and then you basically fly up to the ship, as you see here, and hop in through the side of it. Once you get inside, you're supposed to take out 20 guys. Make sure you don't take out the security personnel, because that'll give you a crime stat. But these guys are pretty easy right now, as they haven't fully implemented AI, but they are more responsive with the latest patch. Once you get inside and start killing people, you do also want to find this little computer device that's halting or sending a data transmission out from the ship. Once you do cancel that, sometimes it does pull the enemies towards you. In this case, I didn't really notice it, and I was able to basically run around and finish wiping everybody out. This one's a pretty good time, and it's really good money. It's a great time with a friend too, because it makes it a lot easier to clear that out. The other type of missions that are really good for FPS are doing these bunker missions based out of Hurston and Microtech. You're going to be able to pick these up pretty easily. They usually show up as like eviction, or it'll be pretty clear and obvious. You'll see them popping up in your mercenary missions, not your bounty missions. These little turrets used to not be targetable, and now that they are, they're pretty easy to deal with. So you're just going to basically take them out, fly up to the bunker, land. Make sure that your equipment is fully loaded out. You'll always want to have med pens. These fights can be tough. As you see here, I pop around the corner, and unlike before, the AI are actually patrolling around the building. So as I start lighting them up, they immediately move into position. AI improvements have been pretty good, so if you're looking for a nice change of pace from what you usually do, I do recommend trying out some of this different PvE content. I'm sure it also helps CIG out with getting some of that data they need. One of the other good uses for this mission as well is if you only have a gun or two and you want to pick up some more, all AI now actually spawns with different weapons. They used to only have one weapon like per bunker, so you'd go in and they would all have ARs. Now it's really worth it. And finally, that leads us to the leisurely activities, the less dangerous stuff, kind of emergent gameplay, I would say. Stuff like trade, flying around like low flight. I really enjoy low flight. I have a video regarding 3.10 trade, so I don't want to really go into it heavily here. I'll go ahead and link that so you guys can check that out. I found that a lot of people are finding that guide helpful. If you find any inaccuracies or anything I need to update, go ahead and let me know. Over time, I am going to put out a new trading video, but you know, in the meantime, go ahead and try out low flying. Go mess with other players. Go see what other people want to do. Ask about running multi-crew. See who wants to join your multi-crew. Even if you're that guy who has an Idris and a Javelin and a Carrack, you know, riding someone else's ship, cruise something else. I find some of the problems that people are having with the game right now are mainly that they're making the gameplay stale for themselves because they're sticking to the same thing. I know I was really guilty of it when I was doing a lot of Caterpillar stuff, and doing this video has actually opened my eyes quite a bit. And with that, I think I've covered most of the major gameplay loops that are currently available in the game. If you think I've missed anything, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you did like the video and made it all the way to here, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you can know when I put out my next video. I really appreciate all the positivity and growth that you guys have helped out with on the channel, and look forward to putting out some more stuff for you guys. Until then, I'll see you all in the verse.